The old lady looks around and she goes, "There is still one missing, but I know I will find him soon enough. I've gathered you here because you are the people of prophecy." And then she pulls out this scroll and reads you the prophecy. "A demon from the dark shall rise. 3 kings he shall take, and 3 crowns he shall wear. 4 heroes must be sought to defeat him. Heroes from a distant land who must be found. The frozen fighter, the emotional sorcerer, the learned archer, the brawling wizard. The 4 heroes gathered shall face the demon's maze. If they make it through, they will face Silabsti. Only by matching his talents can he be defeated." And she rolls up the scroll and says, "Well, now you know everything that you need to know. So, getting to the demon's lair is quite easy, actually. You're going to follow the road west until you reach a small village, and then the tomb is actually just north from there." She hands you each a piece of bread, and she says, "To help you on your journey," and opens the door, ushers you out, and shuts the door behind you. And now you're on the road.
Oh boy.
The only one that's the horse. Understood.
Right, yes.
Yes.
It's a big horse. I feel like y'all could fit on it too if you wanted, but
Yeah. Lola's on her horse. Lola, are you also taking Evie up on your horse?
yes.
Okay, so Lola, I imagine like Lola as like the tough Amazon riding the horse, and then Evie is like daintily sitting side saddle,
Definitely side saddle.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
maybe in front of you.
Yeah. In heels.
Yes, little kid heels with a little
Yes.
strap around the ankle.
We love it. As you're coming up, you actually clock a very poorly hidden ambush that is set up on the road.
Is there like a tree just falling in the road?
Yep. There's a tree falling across the path. You are paying enough attention that you can like see somebody who clearly didn't know that they were going to be doing an ambush today, and so they are wearing a bright red shirt trying to hide in the trees on the side. And so you notice that there are people on both sides. And this is before you have approached this ambush. And you don't think that they noticed, like, you rolled very well. They did not notice that you noticed. So, what do you want to do? You want to tell your companions, prepare? What do you think?
For sure, tell Lola. How do I?
Blow the horse, I guess. I have one that I can use too. I mean, I have to roll for it, but I have lore, which is you were an avid reader of a book series that it now turns out isn't fiction. I'm assuming I read about this world that we're in, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like I want to roll on that, and because maybe that'll also help with the ambush situation, right?
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it.
6 + 5, 11. Much
11.
better.
So you are successful. So yeah, you do not only do you remember reading about the bandits in your stories, but Bastian, the bandit king, did figure heavily in a lot of those stories. He's known for being very suave, and obviously, you know, that like a dangerous boy that a lot of people like.
Maurice says, whoa, wait a sec. You know,
I imagine he's like much further behind us because he has short legs and you're on a very, very big horse.
Yeah.
That's true. Maybe he should be on the horse too.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't put on the horse. Oh, my horse is killing me. This guy's bitten onto my finger and I can't get him off. What's the trouble?
Evie, tell him about the trap.
So there's definitely an ambush ahead. I can make out at least 2 people, but there has to be more, right?
Yeah, I remember in these books I read that there's totally like gonna be a ton of people.
Right. I am not sure why I'm Scottish now. But I had a question for you, Lola. Do you happen to know what that bandit king might look like, and if we can spot him?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't think I see him now, right?
No, you don't see him yet.
Yeah. But I should be able to recognize him from the very stellar description in these books that I read a lot of. So yeah, I should be able to recognize him.
I think I might have a plan.
Oh,
Okay.
All right, go ahead. What's your plan?
I have something that stands for E. It's emotion magic. I
Okay.
can subtly, maybe, talk to the bandit king and get him to, was he ever romantic in these books?
Oh, is your emotion magic Riz? Or do you have Riz?
It's kind of like Riz. It's Riz adjacent.
Hi, Adam.
Hello.
Hello, humans.
Hello.
Adam, you leave work and get on the subway. And as you were getting off of the subway, a little old lady, clearly not paying attention to the normal rules of the subway, which is obviously that you let people off first before you try and get on. Jesus Christ, woman, have some decency. She does not do that. This little old woman walks right up to you and is in your face, and she looks at you real close and goes, yes, it's you. And then she grabs your arms, and a metallic taste floods your mouth, and you start to feel dizzy, and everything goes dark. And when you wake up, you are in what looks like a home in a medieval reenactment village. You know, like it's nicer than what you see at most Ren fairs because it's not a tent, it's actually made of some stone, but it's just like a little room with some chairs and a table and a fireplace. And the old woman is sitting there and she says, "Ah, yes, you've awakened. Well, it did take me longer to find you than the others. I think they might be ahead of you, so it's best, Tiberius, if you were off." And as she says that name that you've never heard before in your life, something feels right about it. It's like a fae has given you your true name. Uh, and you feel kind of a transformation come over you as the ability to do new things kind of enters your mind. And you find yourself transformed. And this might also be a visual transformation, which I'll let you think about as we get you to the next part. And she says, "Well, I've already done this once, but I guess I'll do it again for you. So, there's a demon and it's here and it is ruining the entire kingdom. And we, of course, need the heroes of prophecy to defeat it. So, I, being the oldest person in the kingdom, has apparently been tasked with this because that's how we operate here, is send the old lady to do all of the things. So I'm really glad that I found you. And I suppose that it'll be important for you to know some information. So, Silabsti is attacking. And of course, you are the hero of prophecy. Well, one of them. The prophecy, of course. And then she pulls out a sheet and she reads to you. And then she rolls up the scroll and she goes, "Well, to find the demon, you'll need to visit his lair. It's about half a day's journey, west to the village and then north from there. And I think everyone is a little bit ahead of you, so you might want to run." And then she opens the door, unceremoniously throws you out, and shuts the door behind you. And then after a few seconds, the door opens back up and she says, "Oh, I forgot to give you bread." And she hands you a small loaf of bread. And then she shuts the door again.
I run. I run as fast as I can. I gingerbread man this thing.
And so you run down the path west, and you get to a point where now you see a large horse. And top of this large horse is a Meredith who's much taller and more muscular than you're used to seeing her. And she has a bow at her side and javelins. And she's riding like this giant black horse. And sitting up on the horse with her side saddle is what looks like a 1950s Hollywood starlet with some blonde curls and little kitten heels. And out of breath, next to them is a slightly squatter man with just like a ridiculously full beard and hair all over his arms, and a baby alligator hanging from his finger.
Oh, yes. I'm Tippy. And like figuring this out as I kind of feel out the sounds. Yes, I guess I'm the fourth one in the prophecy, the brawling wizard. I'll say he's a little more like Silver Fox, kind of in
You are. I love
appearance.
this.
Slightly like part, with the conventional but slightly overgrown parted hair with just the salt and pepper kind of mixed into what used to be a brunette.
Silver Fox Adam runs up to you guys, and Meredith, even though he's changed, you can still recognize him, and you're kind of relieved to see somebody that you maybe sort of know.
Sure.
And I'm going to let you now, Lola, catch him up. on what's
Yes.
happened.
Yeah. Oh shit, Adam, you're here.
Yeah.
This is great.
Hey.
So, you see up ahead? You see that down tree? And the tops of a couple people's heads and the leaves are we're about to walk into an ambush.
Because you all stopped and took a moment, you see that not only is there the fallen log blocking your path, but the leaves that are scattered across the path in front of that seem very purposefully laid out. So you think that if you got closer, there might be maybe a net or maybe a pit. You're not sure from here, but perhaps it's best not to step on that.
Could we trip the trap without falling into it?
Oh, I can probably shoot a javelin at the
Yeah.
trap because I shoot javelins because big things.
Hell yeah.
Let's try that, right? Ooh, that's a 14.
Yeah, well, that is a success. And shooting a javelin into an obvious trap is a pretty simple task for you. So you do not need to roll again. You go, this is fine. Pull out your javelin, string it back on a bow. This is heck of impressive. It's insane that she's just shooting javelins like they were arrows. But somehow she manages and makes it look easy. So she draws back this giant bow with this javelin, shoots it. It hits the exact center of that weird spot of leaves, and a net springs up and pulls up. And immediately, the guys who clearly weren't actually paying attention pour out from the left and right flank. You don't see Bastion in this group of first attack, but they come out, they've all got swords or daggers or small axes. It's all close quarters weaponry. And they come to the net like, ow. And then take a moment to realize that you guys are still a little ways down the road. And there's an awkward sort of pause as they realize like they're not in position actually to attack you. So you do get the first set of actions.
I have ice magic, and I am wondering, you can tell me if this is too much and it's not physically possible. Can I use my ice magic to like keep them all stuck where they are, like freeze their feet to the ground so they're easier targets?
Oh yeah, you can definitely do that.
Okay.
You can absolutely do that.
11?
Yeah, so you succeed.
Just barely.
So you
Whoa.
are able to freeze all of their feet. So in that moment when they are frozen, trying to be like, oh, this is not where people are attacking, their feet stick to the ground. So when they try to turn, they are unable to do it. Anybody else have something they want to do to try and defeat them?
Well, obviously, I'm going to shoot some javelins at him, but I'm wondering if I can hit multiple targets.
You would have to probably use an enchanted javelin. Well, actually, I'd let you, for a difficult check, shoot straight down the line since she froze them in place. You know, in a like Odysseus sort of way where you just shoot through the whole side of them.
So I have to get 2 successes. All right, I'm gonna try that. Because I'm like, I see them all frozen in a straight line. I should be able to do this. I'm gonna do it. All right. Ooh. So dice number 1, I rolled an 11 plus 5 is 16.
All right, so 1 success.
Ooh, and a 16 plus 5 is a 21.
All right.
I kind of killed it, guys.
You did kind of kill it. So were you aiming for the left side of the road or the right side of the road?
Where were the most guys? Or is it 6 and 6?
Yeah, they were 6 and 6.
The left side.
All right. So everybody on the left flank has been defeated.
Sweet.
Yeah. Lola takes out her javelin. She pulls back her bow and just shoots like in one ear and out the other, straight through the line of guys.
I
It's
couldn't have done it if y'all hadn't froze them, though. So
disgusting, but also really, really freaking cool.
nice.
And I would consider that a rousing outcome, which means that Adam and Reese and Yaneli, your next check, you get a +1. So you still have 6 guys on the right flank that you need to handle.
I
But it's at this moment when all of the brains of the guys on the left flank splatter out that a figure drops down from one of the trees that was overhanging the road. And this is a suave looking motherfucker. Like,
Guys,
this
that's
is a-
him. That's him. That's him.
Tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah, this is a conventionally tall, dark, and handsome man. And he just looks at you and says, "Was that really necessary?"
but now that we've killed these men, I don't know how well Risen will go. So I have another plan. I have this, and I pull out the alligator. I've never seen one of these before. I might be able to convince him it's a baby Drake, and that he needs to let us through, or I'm gonna unleash.
Okay.
Well-
What are you gonna use to try and do this, Borisius?
Emotion magic.
We're back to the wrist.
Alright. So still some
I'm trying to
risk,
scare him.
but you've decided you don't want to romance him because
We're not
This
going to
seems like an uphill battle at this point.
Okay. All right. So you're offering him. All right. Go ahead and tell me in words how you do this little riz. And then we'll roll your emotion magic and see how it goes. This I think will also be a difficult task. So you're gonna have to succeed
Great.
twice.
I take my little legs and I come up and I say, Bastion, King of the Bandits. I'm afraid
So you've heard
your
of me.
journey ends here. You do not want to be attacking me and my friends here. Did you see that blast of ice freeze all 11 of these men, or 12, including you? I don't know. 12 men frozen in one fell blast.
I
Freeze
noticed.
right here.
Mhm.
This is a powerful ice streak with a breath of snow and blizzards. Why, you do not want to be messing with this beautiful creature right here, because you know what happens if a baby ice streak is killed. The mother will not be far behind. And if this is the breath weapon of one baby, then what do you think a full-grown ice drake will do to you and your men, Bastion? I'll give you one chance to let us through. Or I'm squeezing him like this, and you're gonna see what's gonna come out.
All right. Go ahead and roll. And actually, I'm gonna make this instead of a difficult task, we're gonna make this a complicated task.
Okay.
Which means that I need you to use 2 of your talents because I want you to use your emotion magic to like manipulate him and be receptive, but I also
Okay.
want you to use your ice magic to actually make him
Great.
believe that it's coming out of this little baby
Can
alligator.
I assist
Yeah.
both of these things, but I want to try to, because I also have emotion magic. Can I like subtly manipulate him to be impressed that we took out half of his men so quickly?
Yes, I love that.
My first roll that I rolled right here that I have is a 19 plus 2 plus 3. So
He's very impressed. And he says, "An ice drake, you say? Tell me more."
Okay, this one is a 14.
Okay, and that is a success. So you're good. So what do you do with your ice magic?
So I'm gonna have him in my hand like this, and then just out of like the finger that is right underneath the little baby alligator's mouth, I'm just gonna blast a little frost of cold just to like freeze his eyebrows.
So he's leaning in to look at the ice drake and he goes, "Oh,
Yes.
oh." Most impressive. Again, you have the bright taste of mint in your mouth. He says, "All right, hand over the drake and I will let you pass."
Oh no.
I don't think that's what we said. I don't think that's what we agreed to.
Bastion, we are on a journey to bring this baby to its mother. You think if I leave it here with you that you're gonna be safe when Mama finds you?
No, I think then I'll have a full-grown ice dragon too.
I want to step in front of my compatriots and look back at them and I go, don't act so quickly, and give them a wink while I'm looking away from Bastion and come back to him and go, I don't trust the word of a man who just says things. Everything has to come down to a handshake. And I offer my hand.
Ooh. Okay.
And if he goes to reach it, I will do a thing.
I'm gonna. Yeah, he's definitely gonna go and reach for it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
When
Fireball.
yeah, the fire magic is Typherius. No. When he goes in for the handshake and I grab his hand,
Mhm.
I'd like to teleport him 100 feet into the air above the pit trap.
Absolutely. Please roll your teleportation magic.
Does a 7 do it?
No, unfortunately not. But
I'm in danger.
you did a 7 with magic. And magic automatically has a chaotic modifier. With your failure,
Oh god.
you reach for his hand to teleport him 100 feet into the air. And you get a metallic taste in your mouth, and you suddenly find yourself 10 feet up in the air.
Ah, fuck.
10 feet's not so bad.
My second roll was an 8, so
Okay.
it
So
doesn't
that is
matter
only a 9.
anyway.
So you sprint underneath him, and you are able to catch him, which softens the blow, which means that Tibby is not injured, but you do both fall off of the horse. And so now the only person on the horse is Evie, and she's not particularly comfortable there. And now Bastion looks at you and says, "You should have given me that ice strike." And he reaches out with his arm and uses his own ice magic to free the 6 men on the right flank. And they come at you with brawling. They are successful. So what this means for you guys is that everybody is having to dodge and get around. So you are going to take a -1 on your next action. So if you're Yaneli or Adam, you have a -2 on just your next action. And now he stands and looks at his men and he says, "Get me that ice strike."
I say, aye, if you want him, then come and take him. And I'm going full brawling, baby. I think I got alligator teeth that like are on my knuckles and just
All right. Go ahead and roll for me. And
okay.
actually,
So that's do I have I have a -1 to this?
yeah, you have a -1.
Okay. So that was a 2, -1, 1.
So, unfortunately, you're like, yeah, you guys, you gotta come through me, and you just completely whiff the punch, and end up turned around.
Fair.
And it doesn't hurt you. You don't have any more negatives. It's just really embarrassing. And the bandits around you do kind of chuckle.
I mean, I could try to roll to like bat my eyelashes at him. Pretty
Yeah,
pleased.
you wanna use some of your riz?
Yeah, I would like to try. Okay. And it's -2 now,
Yes,
right?
it is currently -2.
And
Good.
do I just need one success? I don't think this is simple, is it?
You know what? I think that this could definitely be a simple task for you because you're Eevee, emotion magic doubles, and you also have like some other stuff going for you. So I think this is a simple task for you.
Okay,
Emotionally manipulating a guy who thinks you're hot, you do that all the time.
sure. I rolled a 9, so -2, that's 7, so that does fail, but I can roll
No,
again.
you rolled a 9.
Yeah.
Don't forget to add your actual skills.
Oh, so it's +3, so it's really a 12. Okay.
Yeah, so you succeed. So what do you say to Bastian?
I bat my eyelashes, I do a little hair flip, and I'm like, do we really need to do all this?
And he looks at you and goes, well, I suppose not. And he walks up to the horse where you are, and offers his hand to you. And he goes, you and I certainly don't have to fight.
I definitely take his hand.
Yes. Okay.
I'm picturing him as like a very rogue Cary Grant, by the way.
So he helps you down from the horse. We'll leave the two of you in your little moment for a moment to see if anybody else is doing anything about the other bandits.
Yeah, I guess I'll shoot one of the regular bandits then, because she's
Yeah, and
got
Adam,
that.
did you have something?
Yeah, straight up Errol Flynn moment, completely out of context because no one accused him of being so, but he just goes, I am not left-handed, and brandishes his blade.
I love that. All right, roll for your
Uh,
swords.
Total of 9. I'm
Total of
rolling
9.
so well.
That is unfortunately a failure. You say, I'm not left-handed. You swing out your sword with your right hand. And one of the guys goes, clearly you are not right-handed either.
Bang.
Damn.
We're embarrassing.
We are.
Why are we the chosen ones?
Hurts my feelings.
All right, Lola, you want to shoot a javelin at one of
I'm
the
gonna
guys?
try. All right, and 9 + 4 is 13. So thankfully, I hit one of the bandits.
Yes, you do. And actually, because it's a simple check for you, you managed to take down 2
Oh, good.
of the remaining 6. So you guys have 4 bandits
4
still
bandits
on you.
left.
Bastian turns to you, Evie. He's holding your hand. He gently kisses your fingers and says, we could call the whole thing off, and I could spend time with you instead of the ice drink.
I think that sounds lovely. All this violence is very unsavory.
Amazing. I love this so much. He, taking your hand, you feel a little bit of that metallic taste again.
Okay.
And suddenly you find you and him transported to the other side of the log.
Lovely.
Is there anything you would like to do?
Could I bat my eyelashes again and ask him to let my party join me? They are my ride after all.
Okay, go ahead and roll your emotions magic. You're at
Okay.
a -1, so you get a +4 to this roll.
Okay. I rolled a 13, so.
You were successful. Actually, this is probably difficult. Roll one more time.
Okay.
Because he'd be hesitant to let the person who killed a bunch of his people.
Fair. I rolled a 17, so
Okay.
plus, yeah,
So
we're fine.
you bat your eyelashes and you use your emotion magic, and it's chaotically successful. So your goal was to get him to have the rest of your party join you on this side. And he goes, "Oh, I didn't know you were like that," and reaches out with his teleportation magic. And you all taste metal in your mouths and find yourselves teleported. And now you are in what looks like a very lavishly furnished tunnel, cave. It's definitely stone around you. You get an enclosed feeling, but there is an opulent couch. There's gold in all of the corners. There's a giant canopied bed. And Bastion is standing there looking at all of you. The horse is there too. And he goes, "Well, this is not how I expected this ambush to go, but I am always interested." And you are definitely all being propositioned by the Bandit King. What would you like to do?
I would like to pump the brakes just a tad.
Before you do, can I use my unlocking skill? I don't know how it's going to apply, but it feels like it will.
Your what skill?
Unlocking.
Unlocking.
Are you interested in unlocking one of the treasure chests around here or the door to the room?
I was thinking his heart, but
Amazing.
whatever. If that does not apply, then perhaps I will keep it to myself for now.
Do we
Uh,
want to take a rest with Bastion?
There is
I
a
love
bed.
this. Do you guys want to do that? We can
Well,
fade
I-
is Bastion down with just a big cuddle puddle? I mean,
Can I use unlocking?
Yeah, okay, use your unlocking. Unlock his heart and see if he'll cuddle with you.
Great. Incredible.
Oh,
17.
So you propose, you say, "Yes, but we are into some really unique stuff, like cuddling." And he goes, "Well, that's interesting. You know, I've never actually done that before." And so he invites you all to his bed, which is a giant bed, and you gather on the cushions and you lay down and you take a rest. So nobody is taxed anymore. Nobody has any negatives anymore.
fantastic.
When you
Is there, so clearly this is his Bastion's last Bastion. So there's like handcuffs and stuff, right?
Yes, it would be manacles instead of handcuffs, but yes, they're definitely here.
So are we able to perhaps
You
Oh,
think
well,
use
about
the
restraining
unlocking
Bastion?
skill? Use the unlocking skill to lock Bastion to his bed.
Yes, I fully support that. So you wake
Yeah.
up a little bit earlier than him after your rest and go ahead and use your unlocking skill. This will be simple, so you can roll twice, and as long as you succeed once, you're good.
The best of the two was 17 total.
All right, well, that is a success. So you're easily able to slip the manacles on him. And he doesn't seem fussed by this. He was already planning to spend the whole day in bed, and now he'll spend probably a little bit longer in bed because he did leave all of his bandits on the road without bringing them
the ones
back
that are
last
still
night.
alive, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And people aren't used to interrupting him here, so it'll be interesting. You go to the
Can-
door.
Well, while he's chained up, can we go through his treasures?
Yes. So you look through the loot that he has gathered from his many raids. Is there anything in particular you guys are looking for?
A crown, maybe, or 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
a lovely
do,
MacGuffin.
you do find a crown. Only one, while you're looking. But what bandit king wouldn't have a crown?
Hmm.
I would like to look for oversized weapons.
All right, so you find a great axe that is clearly made from the jawbone of a dragon.
Ooh.
Works.
Please add a +1 to your oversized weapons skill.
Nice. Was there
Oh.
anything in there that that I could shoot at people?
So you find a quiver that's got 6 arrows that are just like way bigger than arrows have any right to be in every way. Sort of like cartoonishly thick shafts and big heads. And somebody is firing these and compensating for something, for sure. And you can add a +1 to your archery.
I would like to find some sort of magic focus.
Okay.
Like perhaps something crystalline to lean a little bit more into my wizardry. I saw him showcase his ice magic, so we have that in common. You know what I mean? Like something.
You
yeah.
see a selection of crystals that look like focuses of different magic types. But the thing is that you'd have to be able to identify what magic type it is. So you got to think about what
ooh.
you've learned about magic so far.
Can I get the peppermint, the minty flavor, and kind of just get my fingers a little frosty and wave them over the crystals and see if any of the crystals resonate with the magic as I'm using it? Like, see if something is already attuned to it?
Yeah, that's great. So you do that, you get the sort of minty taste in your mouth, and as you run your hands along the crystal, a clear crystal sparks and the whole crystal frosts when you touch it.
Ooh. 9.
All right, and add a +1 to your ice magic.
Thank you.
Evie, do you want to look for anything, or are you feeling pretty good with what you got?
No, I mean, I would like to see if he has like any alluring. He seems like a very fashionable man who knows things that are in style. Maybe he has some good jewelry or a piece of clothing I'd be really into.
Oh, you leave here like you came in looking like $1 million, and you leave here looking like $1 billion. Like you get some like Hollywood style jewelry, like dripping diamonds, you know, in that old Hollywood style, and you look so fancy. And add 1 to your village politics, because this will make everyone think that you are probably royalty. You guys easily make your way out of this underground lair. This village you recognize from your stories, where it is often referred to as the most cursed place on high earth.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
And because you succeeded in defeating the bandits in the first scene, when you guys get onto the main street of town, there are people saying, "Oh, you're the people of prophecy. You're here to defeat Saelabist." Somebody goes, and you walk along and you run into a merchant who says, Yes, you're here to defeat Sealabist. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so happy for this. And somebody says, "Oh yes, and you defeated Bastian, the Bandit King. He's been terrorizing the town for months. You know, we really actually hoped that the demon, you know, would take him as one of the 3 kings he would take. But no, of course, he took the benevolent, kind king and stole his crown instead of the bandit king stealing his crown. But that's what you get with Sealabsty, you know? Demons are just a problem."
The prophecy is saying that the 4 of us are from distant lands, and it's also saying that the demon is from far away. I wonder what the chances are that this demon is from Earth and is like Donald Trump or something.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's that guy specifically, I'd love to kick his ass.
It wasn't that guy
Aye, that's what the
specifically
oversized weapon's
before,
for.
but-
I mean, going after crowns and shit, it makes a lot of sense, right?
You know that there are some village elders who would have been the ones who kept the most lore and prophecy information. And so you go to visit them, and they tell you everything that they know about the demon. They say the demon has been here for many years now, but the taking of the kings was slow. The third king was only taken 3 months ago, but the kingdom has descended into chaos. And we've been trying since the first king was taken a year ago to find the heroes of prophecy. We have all of our best old ladies on the trail.
They were all different old ladies.
Everybody knows
What
that
a
old ladies are
system.
the best at finding heroes. It's written in all of the lore books. Wizened old women are the ones who can identify heroes just intrinsically. It's a power that you get when you're over the age of 80. And
Yeah, the crone power. We all know about the
Mhm,
crone
yeah,
power.
Yeah,
everybody
that's what
knows the
replaces
crone
your-
power.
Your bone
The
marrow.
great croning, yes.
He says, as far as what it takes to defeat the demon, what we know from reading the prophecy is that only by matching his talents can he be defeated. Which means you must use the powers he has against him. With the information that you have about the demon and a little bit about his weaknesses, you know that the crowns, they tell you that that taking the crowns is what gave him power. So he got more powerful with every king he took. And so taking the crowns away and matching his talents, you, Yaneli,
Yes.
get a +5 on any one check made against the demon when we get there.
Ooh.
I do have one more question for them.
Mhm.
Can they tell us who the three benevolent kings are? Like, do they have their names?
You have, of course, the good king, the kind king, and the gentle king.
They don't have names.
Right.
Mhm.
Good king, kind king, and gentle king.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why they were elected, is because of those names. You know what you're getting.
Yeah.
We don't even know if the kings are still alive, right? I mean,
No,
Well, he's
you
taking
don't.
power from them, though, right?
from the
What
crown.
you-
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay.
But they don't know. I mean, it's not like the king's bodies have been found.
Right.
And do we know where the crown we stole off of Bastion came from?
Oh, yeah, he made that himself
Mm,
not that long ago. He
Isn't that her
labeled himself, he used to just be a regular bandit, and then recently he touted himself the Bandit King, and stopped going by Bastion most of the time. You only knew that because you succeeded in a lore check. Otherwise, you wouldn't have known his name. He'd just be the Bandit King.
Oh,
yeah.
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to know where we're going.
Yeah, I don't think Tibby was here for that.
Do we know whose tomb this is?
Yeah, so you are heading to a tomb that is north of the city, and in this tomb is where the demon has created his own. And this is the tomb of one of the ancient kings.
I
Yeah,
have an
yeah.
idea if we're looking for ideas.
Yeah.
I would love to summon these elders who have been giving us the demon's name, and I want to ask them one by one the name while they're holding the stone,
While they're holding the
my magic lie stone.
Oh.
Oh.
So you hand it to them in turn, and you get Saelabist, and the stone glows faintly. You get Silapsti, and the stone glows faintly. You get Selapsed. Nothing.
Oh.
and you get Sela Best, and the stone glows faintly. All right, so you can make a difficult check to get some more information about the tomb.
I mean, I can try to use my village politics again, maybe.
All right, roll your village politics.
I rolled a 1.
It goes real well. You try and figure out who would know something about a tomb,
Yeah.
and a maze that's at a tomb and all that kind of stuff. And you come up with, I have no idea who would know that kind of thing. Those are not the type of people I associate with.
That is fair.
Does anybody else want to try? You can get one more try. Otherwise, we will consider this a challenge defeat. Yes, go ahead, Adam. Libby, what do you got?
Yeah, okay. Let's see if the silver fox can use some emotion magic.
Yeah.
Who do you make your mark?
I would like to talk to, because I know this is a tomb,
Mhm.
so perhaps an expert in the local cemetery tombs. So perhaps a lonely nun.
Okay, all right. I love this. A lonely nun.
The first one was a failure.
She says, I appreciate you coming, dearie, but I only have eyes for God.
Ooh.
Huh.
Well, unfortunately, you guys do not succeed in getting information about the tomb. But you did get a nice rest, and you did get some cool stuff. So you got that going for you. And you head north. Somebody points you in the direction of the tomb. That part's easy. And as soon as you step through the entrance, you realize this place is literally a fucking maze. So you walk in, and the first option you have is to continue straight or make a right turn. I'm just going to go around and make people choose every time we have a choice. So, Meredith, do you want to go straight or do you want to go right?
I'm gonna go right.
Okay. And Adam, do you want to go left or do you want to go straight?
Straight.
You reach a dead end. But at this dead end, you find a treasure chest. What would you like to do?
So unlocking allows you to bypass traps. Would it allow me to check for traps?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to use my unlocking skill to try to check for traps on the treasure chest.
Okay, go ahead. It's a simple check. So you can roll twice and you just have to succeed once.
Okay. Well, the first roll was 16 total, so that counts.
All
Yes.
right. It's
Fantastic.
a motherfucking mimic.
God
It is.
This
Of
thing would
damn
eat you.
it is.
Okay.
So you leave it.
Yeah, assuming it doesn't try to like follow.
It doesn't try and
Cool.
follow. It doesn't try and do anything. You go ahead and leave that behind. You backtrack to the last choice you made, where you went straight. Reese, what are you doing?
I'm gonna use my running skill.
Go ahead and roll your running, and I'll tell you how many turns you get to check.
That is a 15.
A 15. So with a 15, you get to check 3 turns. Your first split has 3 options. You are able to check all 3. So it's straight, left, and right. Going left leads you to a dead end. Going straight, you moved forward and you saw some haze in the path, and you decided not to run through it. It smelled kind of funny. And going right, there was a chamber and a bunch of beams of light in it. Is what's up
I
on each
want to
of these
go in
options.
the light chamber.
the light chamber, you see a bunch of narrow beams of light shining from small holes at all angles. And the light goes kind of across the path in different ways. So each of you is going to need to make a check to proceed, but tell me how you proceed.
Can I find like a small rock on the floor and toss it in one of the beams of light to see what happens?
You cross one of the beams of light, and now all of the little lights vanish.
Okay.
And darts start flying from all of those holes and into the other holes, just in a repeated pattern.
Ugh.
Don't touch the beams of light. Understood.
Well, now
All right.
you've tripped the trap.
What if we all just hold hands? We can see the other end of the room. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and so at the other end of the room, so now you see all of these darts flying, and at the other end of this path, you see a round stone plinth. And when all the lights vanished, you heard like a click, and then darts started flying.
So the darts are still going.
Yes, the darts are still going.
They're not going to
Okay.
stop.
Yeah, the light's gone. Now the trap is tripped, and it's just.
But there's a plinth on the other side. Do I spot a button?
You don't see a button from where you are. You can't really see the top of the plinth just because of the angle.
Okay, well, what if I just teleport over to the plinth?
All right, go ahead, roll it. Roll your teleportation magic.
All right.
This is going to be difficult, so you need to succeed twice because you're trying to avoid all of these darts.
Yeah,
Sorry.
if I don't land in the right spot, ouchied. +1 is the first roll, totals a 10.
That is a success.
By the hair of my chinny chin chin.
Yep. What's your second one?
No. It was a 1 for a total of 2.
So Tibby goes, "It's okay, I'll teleport over." Vanishes, and then appears in the middle of the chamber, immediately hit with a dart, which knocks you out. You are incapacitated and laying on the ground. You all hear a click. The darts stop flying, but portions of the chamber floor fall into an abyss. And now there are just little bits of floor between you and the plinth on the other side. Luckily, Tibby is on one.
Okay, thanks.
And we make an ice bridge.
Oh, I love it. Yes, please do. You get +6 to this roll.
Roll a 20 for the
Oh
first.
shit!
Oh, you do not need to roll again.
Okay.
Nat 20s in this game are still nat 20s.
Sweet.
So you are wildly successful. You make a bridge that is not only a smooth, nice bridge across that everything, but you manage to pick up Tibby on the way and you carry him out. You reach the stone plinth. On top of the stone plinth, it is separated into 4 sections, and you see an arm, like the arm of the clock. The arm of the clock is currently pointed towards a section that says AH. You see 4 other sections. One says LUM, one says POK, and one says NO. So you've got loom, poke, no.
Can I do a lore check to see if I know what the heck any of that means?
Yeah, go ahead. It's a difficult lore check, so roll twice for me.
All right, my first roll was a 9 + 5, 14. Ooh, and my second was a nat 20.
All right. You know from reading your books that loom means light. POK is point, poke. Is probably an exclamation, and no would mean nothing, none, that sort of thing.
So, like, turn off the traps. So we should probably turn this dial to no,
Mhm.
and then it should be
So you swing the dial to no. The floor comes back up. The
nice.
darts stop firing, and there are no lights. And there is a nice, easy path for you to continue on, which works until you reach the point where you can choose to go straight or go to the right. And it's Yaneli's turn to decide.
Can we go straight?
We're going right again.
Straight.
And I need you to roll a running check for me.
17.
Okay. Well, you are like, oh, I'll check ahead and see what happens. And you run up, but luckily you succeed on your check. So you stop just on the edge of a pit that you didn't notice because of the angle of the floor, you know, because it like goes up a little bit and then drops down. And at the bottom, you see a literal bunch of vipers, like snakes.
Why
But
did it have to be
you-
snakes?
But you avoided that trap. So you can. There is no crossing this, though. You can tell. It ends here.
This is a dead end, but it is a dead end. So I guess go back and take the path to the left.
I go straight.
You hit a dead end. Yaneli, you have straight or to the left.
Left.
I'm gonna keep going right.
Okay. You turn to the right, and you find a treasure chest. Go ahead and roll unlock for me.
Exactly a 10.
All right. There are no traps.
Nice.
Good.
Let's open the chest.
Inside of this chest, you find a +2 greatsword. So anybody who can use swords or oversized weapons can take this and get a +2 to that skill. There's nothing else past the treasure chest, so you trace your way back. And Adam, it is time for you to decide on a right or left.
I look over at Lola and I just go right.
Left.
You come across a shimmering pool of like crystal clear, lovely water, which does remind you that you're kind of thirsty.
I think if I'm thirsty, then I realize, oh my goodness, oh dear Lord, he must be so thirst quenched, my little guy. And I'm gonna let him take a drink.
Okay. You let the alligator take a drink.
He
and
probably wants to swim.
Uh-huh. Great. He starts squealing
Oh no.
in pain.
Oh, I was gonna say like
Oh,
right? No.
And he has a -1 to all of his checks until he urinates.
Okay.
I look at him and I say, were you making checks this whole time?
But good news, you didn't drink it.
I think we should get a cup of that just for later, you know.
I love that idea. You go ahead and scoop up a cup of it to take with you. You've got like a
Yeah,
little
I'm like,
water skin. Just don't.
this
make
is the
mistake.
good water. This is the bad water. I want to clarify that right now. No, I know they look identical, going on right and left side.
All right. You can go past the pool straight or right, or you can go back.
We'll go straight now.
Right. Left.
Right.
And you come across a very classic swinging pendulum axes
Oh.
set.
Ooh. I have a question.
I have an answer.
Would you consider these are large axes swinging?
Oh yes, for
So
sure.
oversized, perhaps.
Yes, they are definitely oversized.
You know the float in the Disney parade at Magic Kingdom with
Yes.
the Tangled characters?
Mhm.
I would like to be one of those actors on those swinging axes, hopping from axe to axe, and use my oversized weapons ability
To wield
justify
them. I love
my
that. Please
ability to
roll
ride
that.
them. Okay,
That's,
great.
that's what in name only is about, using oversized weapons to just swing on giant axes.
This is like the only thing I have a bonus to. I need this. So we have that 10 and a so that's 13, and then the other one's an 18.
All
Mhm.
right, so you successfully swing across the axes, no problem. Drop yourself down on the other side. What's everybody else doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can clog up the works with some ice. 13 total.
Yeah. So you successfully shoot ice up into the works, which stop all the axes from moving, and it is easy for you to walk through them. Yaneli, on the other side of the axes, you can continue straight or go right.
Straight.
You reach you reach a little area with a sign that says, "Do you need a rest? This is a safe place to take one."
Ooh.
Somebody do a
Uh,
trap check. That seems fake.
But you guys, you can
It's
do a
the
trap
sign
check.
of
Go
mimic.
ahead. Do a
Yeah.
trap check.
19, you have to tell me if it's a trap.
It is not a trap. In fact, for flavor, Barisius takes his stone and holds it up to the sign, and it does not glow. The sign is telling the truth.
Nice.
Excellent.
I literally built this in case you guys were exhausted or like had done taxing things and had negatives at this point.
Yeah.
You go back and go right instead, and you find yourselves at a door.
Mhm.
There is a
Ooh.
beautiful, ornate door. I wanna let you guys know that like you did a great job.
Oh, look at that.
Right.
Ooh.
And you would have gotten the map with the red sections if you'd succeeded in the checks. You reach the door. There's a beautiful, ornate door in front of you, and it says, "Speak the demon's name to enter."
Did anybody bother to write down when we were quizzing those
Yeah,
people?
Yaneli had to have. Yaneli had a writing look on her face.
I started to, but I didn't know how to spell it.
It
No,
was what?
I'm
he's
going
walking
CPAP's
my
blue
dog.
ribbon?
I'm going to read you the 4 pronunciations you have heard, and
I-
you have to try and tell me which one you think was the best. Syllabsti, syllabest, syllabs, and we have say elevist.
I think it's because, and I don't know why, but for some reason, it's the one that, to me, I think it's the one, it's elapsed because every time I hear that, I go Pabst Blue Ribbon. And I think that was triggered with
All right,
the
is that what
stone.
you say?
I look
I mean-
around and I just go, elapsed.
You do that, and the door moves and rolls to the side.
Pick number 3, my lord. Pick number 3.
Hipster beer for the win.
Yep. All right.
Elapsed Blue Ribbon. Jesus.
You find yourselves in a very dark space. And around you are candles. And these candles look disgusting. They're kind of fleshy looking.
Mm.
And with this kind of sickly light, you have a -2 to all of your checks
Oh,
until you can make it brighter in here.
I have my enchanted javelins, and I know I used one. No, I didn't wind up using
No,
one.
you didn't wind up using
did-
one.
So I have 3 shots.
All
I
right,
feel like
go
I
ahead.
should be able to do a luminescent javelin type situation, right?
All right, so you're gonna shoot a javelin of light.
Yeah, javelin of light. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Okay, go ahead and roll your archery for me.
But I have a -2 on this.
You do, because it is still the lights are yes.
But my archery is up to +6, so now it'll just be a +4.
Yep.
Okay.
Shot in the dark.
11 + 4 is a 15.
So you succeed and you fire your javelin actually straight up and it sticks in the ceiling, and light just
Nice.
expands and pours out of it. Good
Right.
news, you can now see the space. Bad news, you can now see the space. So you find that you are in a large circular chamber. In the center is a large sarcophagus with the carving of a king on it. Arms crossed, big sword, crown on his head, like in relief. And so that is like, and it's huge, it's white marble, and then there's like gold metal inlay on his like crown and the hilt of the sword, and like a ring on his finger. Very, very fancy, very opulent. Against, like I said, the chamber itself is perfectly round. The candles have been sort of scattered. Most of them got blown out by the force of your javelin. You see opposite of where you are, 3 emaciated men.
Oh,
in
it's the kings.
those like hanging cages.
Oh.
They don't look, they are alive, but they don't look good.
Mhm.
And standing right behind the tomb is a giant demon creature. And this thing has horns, it has huge sharp teeth. It's got kind of an animalistic feel. It's like a bear and a bat had a very vicious child. So it's got like massive fangs like a bear, and it's got these huge wings, and just claws everywhere. And it's covered in this thick brown fur. And while you watch, you see it takes off, and then there's the faint taste of metal as it teleports to the other side of the room.
I would like to take a sip of the relic.
All right.
So you all see, I kind of reach behind me, and it was somewhat innocuous with the, the wand and the glimmering sword and the bandaged boxer hands, but there's honestly just a flask that's been on my belt the whole time, with like a cork that's tied to the end of it so it can be resealed. And I'd like to take the first of 3 sips,
Okay.
because I also feel like Celapse may have a letter we are not anticipating and don't have access to otherwise. So we'll see.
And this sip tastes like a pine tree.
Gin?
Dope. All right. We're gonna say that Tibby, or Adam from New York before becoming Tibby, was in fact similar to me and actively plays a druid in his weekly campaign.
Yeah.
So I know how to take out a flyer if I taste pine. What I would like to do, because I imagine some of this mausoleum has been overtaken by the earth itself, trying to reclaim a little bit, is any vine or root system nearby to reach out and grab this demon to pull them back to the ground and bring them back down to earth. So the total with a +2 is 16.
All right. So with the 16, there are some vines like kind of creeping in the edges around,
Yeah.
and you just use those and grow them large and strong and grab the demon and pull him down to the ground. The demon is definitely going to be able to break out of these vines. So somebody will need to use something besides nature magic to continue this restraint. Yes, go ahead.
I have a plan.
Right.
Borisius would like to get as close as he can now that the demon is grounded. And I'm going to say, Sea Blast! I should warn you, you should not have crossed our path. Little do you know, we have an ice drake. Just a wee baby, but you don't even know what it can do. And I'm gonna take the bad water flask, toss it, open it, and spray like this, and at the same time ice magic the bad water onto this thing so that it is stinging and digging into him frozen.
Okay, roll me your ice magic.
That's a 15. I don't think I have any modifiers to ice magic.
That's all right. A 15 is a success. So
Woohoo.
now, C-Labs has been restrained. His movement is restrained. So he can't fly anymore. What happened was you brought him down, which restrained him, and it hit his wings with that painful ice magic, and they've sort of like crumpled and withered. He tries to take off again after shaking the vines off, and he can't do it.
Nice.
He can still teleport, but only ground to ground.
Mm.
So he does teleport away from the vines, but he has to remain on the ground.
Dope.
I feel like the only thing I can really do is use my emotion power on him because obviously ice didn't work. That's like the only other thing that I have. Can I, before I do anything with the demon, do I think there is a way to get the kings down at all?
Oh yes, definitely. You look around and there actually is like they clearly got winched up there, and you can see where the chains are like tied off to the back wall. It probably takes some strength, but you could untie them and lower them down.
Could I?
You'd need more weight than they weigh.
Yeah, it's my emotion magic.
Mhm.
Can I try to get the demon's attention to try to get it to attack me, but stand in front of the winch and like try to dodge?
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so you're going to try and anger him so he's coming for you. Go ahead. and roll.
Yeah. And I have that +5 for one of the demon checks. I think I'm gonna try to do it now. So whatever you should
You
be.
can do it after your roll.
Okay. Okay, we'll see what happens. I rolled a 13 plus the 5, so it should be 18.
Yeah, so you don't need to use your other +5 yet.
Okay, cool.
He roars in anger, like you spark him to extreme anger, and he charges at you. And he smashes into the winch. He does break that chain. The cages are plummeting now because there's no weight on the other side of the chain to hold them up.
Sure.
They're
Is
not
my hor-
terribly high up, but
Is my horse still here? Can my horse run around and catch him?
yes, you froze the axis so your horse could make it through.
Nice.
Yeah. So you
What do
can
I roll
you
for
can-
that?
Yeah, you can send your horse to run around and catch them. I think. Well, just give me a straight roll for that.
Okay.
This is your horse's run skill, so it has a +2. It's pretty good at that.
Nice.
It's a good thing we're not sending the gator. He's got -1 to everything.
I know. I rolled an 8 plus 2 is a 10, so
Yes.
success.
So the horse, instead of catching, your massive horse runs up and grabs the end of the chain
Nice.
to like slow their descent. So they are no longer falling. They're also no longer lowering because the horse is holding them. But you could lower them if you take some time to do that. But your emotion magic success, when the demon smashes into the wall in that anger, he comes away kind of dazed, and you can tell that you really, really injured him.
Can I try something a little wild?
Yes, please do.
I'm like looking at Boresius's very big greatsword, and I'm like, okay, you've got swords covered, so I don't need this. And I just chuck my sword. But while it's in mid-air, can I actually teleport it
Ooh.
to so like throw it across the room, but teleport it so that it actually flings into the demon now that it's been dazed against the wall
Yes. So
to
it's
try to
obvious-
get that T out of the way.
Yeah.
This is a complicated check, so you need to succeed with swords and with teleportation.
Okay. Fantastic. In that case, the swords is an 18
Okay.
total.
And your teleportation?
Well, let me see what happened on the floor. Or
Oh.
Okay.
Dang. Gonna
So
hit
your
something.
sword, you throw it at him, and that is very successful. It buries deep into the same shoulder he hit the wall with, and his whole arm just comes off. So now he's missing one of his four limbs. Unfortunately, it didn't teleport. You just had your perfect. You attempted to teleport it, and it failed completely. You did successfully teleport some of those really gross flesh candles closer to you. So good job with that. Mhm.
flesh candles, now with 20% more king.
But now, you know that the demon's name is only elapsed. Elapsed.
All right, the sword. You got the sword off of there. Get some sword.
But
Well, you
there's
got a
there's
sword.
another. I got a sword.
Oh, right, yeah.
I think I see him do this maneuver, and I say, "Oh, are we just getting rid of them now? All right." And I'm taking my long sword, and try to use the archery and sword skill together. And if that doesn't make sense, then I will use running or brawling to just run up there.
I would say use brawling and swords.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to leave some
And
archery for Lola.
That's fair. Okay, I'm gonna run up to him. I'm gonna go here. Excuse me, can you hold this for me? And I'm gonna.
I love it. So roll
Um,
your brawling first, which is gonna, or actually your sword first. So I think you're gonna bury the sword in him, and then you're gonna punch him.
Great. So that is 15 plus 2, 17.
All right. You easily bury the sword in the other shoulder.
Nice. And then brawling is another 17
All
with
right.
no bonus.
And
Oh,
then,
fuck yeah.
just for fun, you punch it through, taking out his other limb.
Nice.
And Ellet is really struggling now. But it is his turn. He successfully teleports away from the space that he is, so he's not near Boresius anymore. Or
Fair.
like he was near the cages, Boresius, and Evie, because you put yourself over there to be in his path. So he's teleported sort of away from all of you. Then he looks at all of you, and suddenly you realize that you're fighting a fucking demon. And that's terrifying. Like, an afternoon ago, you didn't even believe that demons were real. And now there's this giant flying bear creature. It's coming for you. And that is really, really scary. And dude, you're kind of freaking out now. And everybody has a -1 to all of their checks because you are afeared.
Oh,
He has used
Gator's at
emotion.
-2 now.
Yeah, he's really not doing well. All
All right.
And that ends the demon's turn. So we're
I
back.
realize
around-
I gotta fight his lore with my lore, which
Mhm.
I'm not quite sure how that works.
I don't know. Think about a creative way to use lore to fight this guy.
Do I throw a book?
For a
at
Jeopardy
him?
contest.
Well, you could find a book and throw it at him. I want to remind you that there are 3 kings here who were in your book.
Oh, right. So, but I gotta roll to remember what these kings are all about. Maybe, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's accurate. Ooh, that's only a 7. So
You don't remember much about the kings. They weren't very interesting, and they didn't have romance plots. So, like, meh.
Fuck.
Mm,
Unfortunately, but like one of the things that you did notice while you were in here, obviously, is that the kings in the cages wear no crown, but the
Mhm.
demon does.
Mhm, mhm.
Oh, Lola, which crown goes to which king?
Oh, do I remember that?
You would need to make another lore check. It will happen after the demon's next turn.
Okay.
But that was the information we were trying to. Yep. Okay.
Fantastic. Okay.
So go ahead, my other three. What do you got to defeat Elot?
As I piece together, oh, looking at Lola like we should match the crowns with the kings, and I just reach out and just say yoink, and I'd like to teleport the crowns off of the demon and into my hands.
I love this. All
Mm.
right, roll for it. Teleport has worked so well for you this whole game.
This has been great. It's only
I feel like this is gonna be the one. This is gonna be
It
the
better
one.
be.
what do I need for this to be a success?
So to be a success, you need above a 10. To take out his skill, you need above a 15.
So with the +1 to my teleportation, it is exactly 15.
Yeah. All right.
Thank goodness.
So you
finally, not just a
teleport
win, the
the
win.
crowns away from him, and you see the demon concentrate, and he doesn't go anywhere. And he goes again, and you realize that the crowns were giving him magic of some sort. And by teleporting them away, you have taken that magic from him.
Mm.
All right,
Yeah.
Yaneli.
Eat shit, Ella.
Correct. Yeah, what do you want Ella to do?
I want to try something. Can I give the piece of bread that the lady at the beginning gave to me to one of the kings?
Ooh, okay, yeah, go ahead. So you actually don't even need you can make just a simple check. Just roll, and you get to roll twice. You need to get above a 10.
I rolled a 17.
Okay.
Nice.
So you take the chain from the horse, and using the horse's weight and your own thing, you're able to lower the 3 to the ground, and you just pick one of the kings at random.
You're probably the one closest to me.
Okay, so you find the closest man and you offer him a piece of bread, and he eats it slowly because he understands that he's starving and he doesn't want to get sick. And he says, thank you so much. You are the emotional sorcerer of legend. Is there anything else you'd like to do besides help this king feel better?
Is it too distracting to ask you guys for your bread?
No, I love that. Say, throw me your bread.
I just need 2 more pieces of bread, please.
I just like, I do like the I Dream of Genie like blink and then bread just appears in your hand.
Lovely. So
Yeah.
I'll give 1 more bread to 1 more king.
Okay.
My bread is delivered via alligator, so he sprints up with it in his mouth.
Wonderful. And I give 1 more king bread.
Okay, so you give all 3 of the king's bread, and they are eating, and they do seem much more enlivened. And as they're gaining vigor, it is clearly draining to the demon.
Nice.
I kind of figured. Are they willing to tell me anything about how to defeat the demon or which crown is theirs?
So what do you ask them? I think you could ask them in this turn. You could ask them a question.
Okay. Can I, the first one that I talked to, can I ask him which is your crown?
Oh, and he says, "I am the kind king, and I
Okay.
wear a crown of gold."
Okay.
Right.
Mhm.
Lola, if you want to go before me, you
I
got
already
Laura
went.
or
I gotta wait until
Yeah, so
Oh, I
it's just
see.
you, Reese.
Great. Okay, I have a plan. Um, So after the demon fails his teleport, I'm gonna walk right up behind him. Um, I'm gonna get right in his face. Um, and I'm going to take my enchanted stone. I'm gonna put it in his hand, and I'm gonna look at him and I say, "So, Ella, tell me that you're not afraid. I dare ya." And I take my
Ooh.
oversized weapon and use emotional magic with it.
Yeah, all right. Roll me emotional magic and your oversized weapon.
Great. Okay, we'll do emotional. Well, we'll do oversized weapon first.
Really quick.
That
Did
is
you say the Kind King was gold?
Yes, the kind king, and he wears a gold crown.
that is 11 plus 3, so 14 for oversized weapons.
All right. Yeah, you are very. Are you injuring him, or are you just mostly threatening?
Yeah, it's mostly intimidation. I think
Okay.
I don't even need to at this
Yep.
point.
So you wield
I
it
want
very
to see.
threateningly. Roll the emotional
Yeah.
magic.
That's 4 on the emotion magic.
You swing the sword up, and he actually doesn't seem very afraid of it.
Right.
But what he does do is go, he just looks at you and says, "I fear nothing." And he comes forward and like takes the sword and lets it cut him. So you injure him, but it's in that like, oh yeah, you think you can take me sort of way.
Does the stone glow?
Uh oh, no, it does not. When he says I fear
Mm.
nothing, he is speaking absolute truth.
Okay.
Uh Adam, it's gonna be the demon's turn here in a second, but the crowns you hold in your hand, you have a golden crown, a wooden crown, and a jeweled sapphire crown. The demon, he only has 2 remaining legs, but he uses what's left of his wings to balance on his head. And in a classic acrobatic archer move, he draws a bow and arrow with his feet. And he aims for Megadeth.
For
And he
what?
sucks at shooting with his feet. Yeah, he tries to shoot Lola, and he's terrible at shooting with his feet, so it's fine. An arrow just it misses you. Nothing happens. You got an 8, and then he simply says to you, "They didn't tell you the end of the prophecy, did they? Heroes can only defeat me when they die." With his lore, that's very believable. Except that Reese put the fucking stone on him and I just forgot.
Uh-huh.
God damn it. The stone glows.
That's what it's there for. That's what it's there for, baby.
I'm so mad.
You wanted to give us magical relics, just saying.
I did want to give you magical relics. Okay, fine.
I go, liar, 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 liar. I saw him.
All right, and that is the end of the demon's turn.
Can I try to use both my motion magic and my ice magic? I want to take Bastion's crown. I want to cover it in ice so it looks like crystal. And then I want to use my emotion magic to trick the demon into thinking that's one of the crowns that we took off of him and try to get his attention. And then while I do that, Tiberius, if you can get the gold crown on that king I was just talking to, that'd be great.
Run, 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 Tiberius, run.
Yeah. I'm trying to be cool about it, just like one step at a time with the crowns behind my back.
So I'll do
right.
ice first.
Yes, ice first.
Okay. Roll the 17 plus 4.
Yep, you succeed.
Thank you. I didn't want to do the math.
And then emotion magic.
I rolled another 17.
All right. He is clearly weakening. Law is having some trouble. And you are essentially like, na 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 na, I got your crown. And it works. He's laser focused on you and begins kind of chasing you around as you move. roll a run for me there, Tibby.
Oh,
I'm getting heels. I got so scared.
nat 20?
All right.
You said Tibby, right? Yes. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah,
Nat
because
20.
you are able to take those crowns and zip over to the cages like it ain't no thing. You put the gold crown on the kind king.
I'm the kind
And
king,
you
and we have
actually succeeded really well, so you can talk to one of the other kings if you want.
whoever is the next closest.
Mhm.
And just be like, hi, I'm here to help. I believe one of these belongs to you.
And he looks at you and says, "Yes, I am the gentle king, and my crown is made of crystal sapphire."
Here you go.
And you get the third crown to the third king.
Fantastic.
So the kings put on their crowns, and as they put on their crowns, you can see like vitality sort of flowing through them and draining out of the demon.
Meredith, if you want to go first, I know you have lore.
All right. 10 plus 5 is 15.
All right. So that is a success. And what you remember is in a similar way to how naming you here gave you your power. Giving the demon the name that they had in a distant land will strip that power away.
Donald Trump. I think my action here, I think I just gotta finish stripping him of this name that he's got.
Okay.
And if he's got nothing, maybe his real name will reveal itself.
Yep. So he's just in awe.
So what I'm going to do, I am going to look at Meredith and ask, might I borrow your bow?
It's really big, but you can use oversized as well.
Oversized weapons are
Nice.
perfect for
Here
me.
you go, my friend.
I look over at Evie and I say, maybe a tinge of ice on this one.
Alrighty.
And then Tiberius, I say, I found this inside of him earlier, and I pull out your epee, your very nice, very sharp one, and I'm gonna say, all right, demon, how did you do this earlier? And I'm gonna take my toes and I'm going to line up the bow, and I look at him and I go, open up and say, and I'm gonna fire.
All right. First, Yaneli, roll for your assist.
I rolled a 13.
Okay, so add 3 to whatever you roll, Reese.
Okay.
Nice.
So this is just archery or
Yep.
oversized weapons? Okay, great.
Archery.
Awesome. All right. No, family now. Emma.
What was it?
Wait. Hold on. I thought it was a 1. That's a 7 plus 3, 10.
That's a lot.
I think you still need to get a 15 though to remove the letter.
You do need to get a 15 to
Yeah.
remove the letter, but
Well, shit.
your archery ice does shoot. I mean, you succeed. It shoots directly. You say open up and say which is a great line, and I'm actually really upset that you didn't succeed.
My +5 demon check.
Ooh.
I don't see me using it anymore.
All right. Nope. You handed it over. I
that
love that. I forgot we had that. Yes.
This is exactly 15,
So
right?
you say
That's
open up
Evie's blessing.
and
That's
say,
15, baby.
Woo!
You fire this arrow, and it does go directly through the demon's mouth and out the back of his head.
Hell yeah.
The demon begins to scream, and its body twists. And as you watch, it transforms into a man and then vanishes. And it is Donald Trump, which was not initial, but you know, it happens now. You guys did that. So this man with a strange toupee transforms.
Yes.
And just before he vanishes, he said, "And this is the third assassination attempt." And then he disappears.
Get him out of here.
Fucking solid.
Moments after that, you again taste metal, and the wizened old woman who brought you here appears, and she looks around and she goes, "Yes, defeated the demon and saved the kingdom. I knew you were the ones. And now, of course, to send you home, my dears." And she just walks up to each of you and gently touches you. The metallic taste this time, of course, is overwhelming, and you're a little bit dizzy. And when your eyes open back up, you find yourself back where you met the woman. Adam, it's really awkward because you are literally standing in the door of the subway, and people are like, "Move, dude." And you push your way through. But as you are getting ready and emptying your pockets for the night, you find a small vial in your pocket. And
With
Reese,
2 more sips.
and Reese, you come back into yourself, holding that tiny gator who is no longer writhing in pain.
That's good.
And around the gator's neck is a stone that looks really familiar. Yaneli, when you arrive back in the moment, Hallie is running around the neighborhood because you let go of her leash, and that's unfortunate. So you are busy chasing the dog. And as you run down the street, you hear something fall, and you look down and see a metallic tube of lipstick on the ground. And Meredith, you are on the subway, standing there, and you go to like turn and get off, and you're like, "Oh, that is uncomfortable." And you realize that tucked against your side is a glowing javelin. And you're like, "I don't know what I'd possibly do with this, but here it is." And as each of you discover these things, you hear just a faint voice that says, "A gift for saving me higher." And that is the end of your adventure.
Yay!
Yay!
Ooh.